are live in 3, 2. Hello, Mr. Dino. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. How are you?
Oh my God, what a wonderful way to start a test run. Okay.
Yes, I see
Yeah.
you have a black cat behind you.
Yes.
I've heard they're bad luck.
Well, can I just say that the cat's name is actually Lucky.
No, really?
Yeah, because she's not completely black. She has like a white spot underneath her stomach, like Sylvester the cat, you know. Uh,
Ah,
and actually, I showed Caroline the Pepe Le Pew. You remember Pepe Le Pew, right?
yeah.
The rapist skunk that tried to molest the cat, right? Okay, and so I showed her the video of Pepe Le Pew, and this cat looks like exactly like the female cat in those episodes that Pepe Le Pew is always chasing. So we often pick up this cat and act like we Pepe Le Pew. Hello, baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, so she's called Lucky because she's not completely black, and I called her Lucky on purpose to cancel out the bad luck.
The bad luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's an American guy that works with me here, and he's brought his dog over from America. Like, put the thing on the airplane, and they sort of
and quarantine and everything.
yeah, everything. But it's a BBD, yeah, a big black dog, and
Yes,
Chinese people are terrified of this dog. I took him for a walk today, and you walk down the road, and it's like parting the Red Sea. The Chinese people move away from this dog. They're terrified of big black dogs.
Yeah. Yes. Well, and as they should be. Yeah. Big black dogs are very dangerous. Well, I can tell you that we have a big white dog, and
Those are very rare.
yeah, well, it's not common for big white dogs to exist.
Yeah.
But we had the situation that actually I lived here for about maybe about 7 months before I was brave enough to go in the same room as the big white dog, because I was obviously terrified of the big white dog. Right.
Are we still talking about actual dogs?
Yes, no, we're still there. We're still there. There wasn't a random big white, walking around in my house. So no, we were fine. Yeah, okay. Hey, listen, this is a crazy country. You never know, right? Yeah, so, but now getting back to the cat really quickly, the whole theory behind things that are bad luck. There's supposedly like folklore and science behind it. So the black cat on its own is not necessarily bad luck. It's about the direction that the black cat is going. And
like if it crosses your path, if it walks in front of you.
Exactly. Now the thing is, if I don't know if you've read the story about cats and snakes and things like that can feel earthquakes and things like that before we can. Yeah. And they often then run away or they move away from that area. So the theory is that if a black cat walks in front of you, it's actually moving away from danger behind it. Yeah, so that's where the bad luck thing comes from. It's the same with ravens. I mean, ravens congregate, if I can use that strong English word, congregate around dead.
And you just did. Yeah,
dead animals. So they perceive as bad luck because if you go near them, there's probably disease or something there, and you could catch it. You see what I mean?
I've heard if you walk underneath the ladder, you're not supposed to do that because that's bad luck. It's because you're breaking the Holy Trinity, the triangle, the Father, the Son, and you're walking through. That's what I've read about the walking underneath the ladder. So
I'm going to be honest to you. That makes perfect sense to me. That's completely logical and scientific. I think so. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yes, it is scientific.
But anyway, yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's that. But yeah, so we named her Lucky on purpose because she's a little bit white and to counteract the bad luck. And can I just tell you that lucky is not the adjective that I would use to describe her. Really, she's really quite naughty. She's probably the naughtiest black pussy that I've ever seen. But yeah.
That escalated quickly.
So yeah, it did. You're right. You're absolutely right. But yes. But yeah, she runs up and down. We've had to change the arrangement in our house of which doors to close to keep her in an area where she can't destroy things. Because if anything that's smaller than like this goes on the floor and it gets played with. We have to pack pillows in front of my wife's little, like a vanity case, because she keeps opening the drawer and taking my wife's hair bands out of it. So we have to pack pillows in front of it. So it's quite hectic, yeah. And then she does amazing things. You wouldn't believe it. So we've got a sliding door, but the sliding doors in China are different from the ones in South Africa. The ones in South Africa have those little fibers that create like a resistance.
Yeah.
But these ones are just wheels.
Yeah.
So with a bit of pressure, you can push it. And the cat has managed to push this door almost open so that there's nothing, nothing keeping the bull terriers from her. Yeah. So she keeps us busy for sure. Mm-hmm.
For shizzle.
For
great.
Shizzle, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, now I know everything there is to know about your cat. I'm very impressed. I wish I had an animal here in my house that I could show you.
Ever since I moved here, I wanted to get an animal, but I was always nervous of how long I would be here. In the past when I was living on my own, I was always nervous. You don't want to get a dog and then maybe one day you have to go back early or whatever the case might be.
Or even just going on holiday becomes a problem. You can't just hop on a train or hop on a plane and off you go. You got to think of the dog.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
As much as I'd love to have one here, I just don't think it's a good fit. I mean, my apartment doesn't have an outside area, and I like to travel. I'm spontaneous.
Yes, I believe you. And if you did get a dog, would you get a big black dog or a big white dog?
I've never really been a huge fan of big black dogs. Some people look down on me for that, but I think it's just a preference. I prefer big white dogs. Big white dogs are the way forward.
And do you prefer dogs that bark or bite?
A bit of both, actually, funnily enough.
To be honest, at this stage, I don't know what the euphemism means anymore.
No.
I don't know. It's very strange at this stage.
I think I do. I think I'm following you. A bit of both. It's never good to limit yourself.
As long as it has a tail that wags, you're okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Pretty good. That's okay. Yeah. I think that's all that needs to be said about that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's keep it PG.
Let's keep it PG. Well, I mean, speaking of keeping it PG, I'm always fascinated by, I find these clips of cartoons that we watched as kids that actually had jokes in them that weren't PG. PG. Yeah. The one that I can remember is there was an episode apparently in the Animaniacs. Do you remember the Animaniacs?
We're the Animaniacs.
Yes, that's exactly it. And in one of these episodes, they were solving a crime or something, and Wacko says to his sister, "Find Prince," because they're solving a crime. And she comes back with the artist, Prince, in her arms, and he says, "I found Prince," and then he goes, "No, I mean fingerprints," and she goes, "I don't think so." so I was like, wait a second, that wasn't in there. And yes, that is
very risque for a children's show.
Yeah, that's very risque.
Yeah. I know SpongeBob, I mean, this is maybe a little bit after our time, even though, I've basically watched every SpongeBob episode ever. But SpongeBob is pretty sort of risque at times as well. I mean, you've got this sponge living in a place called Bikini Bottom.
With Mr. Krabs. With Mr. Krabs. In Bikini Bottom, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and they do make a lot of adult jokes in SpongeBob as well. So, but I just find it funny. I think it's hilarious.
Exactly. But it's also like Lion King. Very few people realize that there is actually a sex scene in that movie.
Can you feel the love tonight? Where they're licking each other clean?
Well, yes. Well, I mean, come on, let's be honest, Dean. I'm 99% sure it didn't stop at licking. It rarely does with any.
No, there was definitely lion coitus involved.
Coitus. That is a wonderful word. I love it. Coitus.
Yeah. Well, we got to keep it PG. Coitus is a PG word.
Yes. Yeah. The little children that are watching won't understand the word. kids, if you're watching, coitus means to play with your cars on the highway. Yeah, that's what it means.
That's exactly what it means. Yes,
exactly.
And you shouldn't do it.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
play with your cars on the highway.
Yes, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, until the ring's on the finger, don't put a thing in her. Yeah, something like that. Oh, that's not PG, but anyway. Yeah. So yeah, good.
Great.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm going to be honest with you, Dean. This was just a test run, but I thought it was really good. I think we should post it. I think we should post it. Yeah, I think it's good.
I just told everyone that it was a test run. So.
Yeah. I think that's all part of the what do you call it? Part of the, not the desire, part of the allure. Allure. Yeah. The fact that we've gone with the test run. The test went well, and now we'll say, you know what, guys, this was our test run. Let us know what you think. Be honest, be brutal. Yeah, I mean, feel free to comment on my beard and my hair. That's okay. I can't change those because I can't go to the shops.
Well, that's the thing. I haven't done my hair today, so.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Dean. How about we keep this one in the back pocket?
Okay.
I'll keep it in the back pocket. Maybe if things take off,
We could always revisit some topics that we discussed tonight in a proper one. Yeah.
Or we can release it as a one of those on the DVDs. You get the deleted scenes. Yeah, these are the deleted scenes.
Wow, you've got ambition. I like that.
Yeah. So these are the deleted scenes. This was the pilot. The pilot for Conversations in China, or whatever the case might be.
That's right. Dean and the Dutchman.
Yeah. Dean and the Dutchman tackle big black dogs. Yeah. There we go.